campaign trail. Republican presidential hopeful Governors John Kasich and Donald Trump getting heated over the issue of immigration Tuesday night. Listen to this.
For the 11 million people, come on, folks, we all know you can't pick them up and ship them back across the border. It's a silly argument. It's not an adult argument. It makes no
all
sense.
All I can say is you're lucky in Ohio that you struck oil. That's for one thing.
Joining me right now on the telephone is Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump himself. Donald Trump, good to have you on the program. Welcome back.
Good morning.
You know, I really like that comment, that striking oil in Ohio in reaction to John Kasich. But let's talk about your immigration plan for a moment, Donald. Is it realistic to just send all those people back? How are you going to do it? I mean, won't that be a disruption?
Everything's a disruption. It's a disruption having a lot of our jobs taken by people that, frankly, you know, when you have 100 million people in our workforce and many of them can't find work, you know, the 5.2 that you report about all the time, that's a fictitious number. You understand that, Maria. I mean, I'm sure everybody understands that. 5.2. That was devised, that system was devised by politicians, presidential politicians mostly, so they look good. And this way, you know, I mean, here we have a thing where I go out to, every time I go out, I have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people in auditoriums and all, and they're not going to be there if it was 5.2%, okay? They're there because it's probably 22 or 25% unemployment. And, you know, we're talking about a lot of things with illegal immigration. Number one, it's illegal. We don't have borders. We don't have any controls. And I'll tell you what, I get my biggest standing ovations when I go out to different places. We're going to Texas this week. We're going to, I mean, every arena is sold out with thousands and thousands of people. When I say I'm going to build a wall and I'm going to, you know, create a border, we're going to create an actual border because right now we don't have one. And I get my biggest ovations when I talk about the wall, but a real wall, not the little walls that you see now where they walk right across them. They're 5 feet tall and a couple of pieces of wire. They cut them, they drive the trucks right through, or they actually build ramps and they go right over the walls. It's unbelievable, actually.
Yep.
So we don't have borders. Right now, Maria, we don't have borders. And you know, we're a country of laws. We're a country of borders. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country.
Yep.
And, you know, Mexico,
well, I mean, look,
this is not about Mexico, by the way. This is about many countries. But Mexico is the hardest country, just about, in the world to become a citizen of. So people go right through Mexico, and they come into our country, and Mexico helps them. You know, trains, everything. You see the trains. It's unbelievable, actually.
And I think that's why you're resonating so much with the American people, because you're linking everything back to jobs for Americans. I want to bring up this op-ed in the Journal today, Donald, because it's an opinion, and it says Republican fault lines.
Yeah, you were there. I mean, you heard what I said.
Yep. Yes, they call you the most protectionist nominee since Hoover, Donald.
Right. Well, they're wrong. I'm not a protectionist. I'm a free trader, but we need smart people to make the deals. But above that, where they wrote that, I mean, I pick up the Wall Street Journal. They don't call me. Yeah. They don't ask anything. They just write. Only negatively, by the way. Only negatively. And I read about in the Wall Street Journal about the TPP. Now, you were there. I said that it's a horrible deal. I said that it's 5,500 pages, almost 6,000 pages that nobody's read, by the way, other than the other countries. They've read it because, you know, they're going to take advantage of us. And I said China will come through the back door, meaning when it's all done, China's going to come in. And I've been saying this all over the place. I've been saying this in speech after speech, that this is going to be a great deal for China because China's going to come into the back. They'll come into the agreement after it's done, and they're going to come in, what I said, that day, you know, that night, where you did a fabulous job. All three of you did a fabulous job, by the way. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Thank you.
But the Wall Street Journal writes an editorial where I said that Donald Trump didn't know that China wasn't in the deal. Well, I know that China's not in the deal. And if they look at my speeches, they'll see I talk about it all the time. This deal is going to be a great deal for China. It's going to be an unbelievable, because China's going to come in through the back door, and that's what I said. They're going to come in later through the back door, and they'll take advantage of what all of these other people were negotiating. And the Wall Street Journal does a big editorial that I didn't know about China. You were there. You heard me say it. You heard me say it.
They're suggesting that you, well, you were talking about the TPP deal being a bad deal.
I'm suggesting that the Wall Street Journal editorial board doesn't know what they're talking about, that they're third-rate, They got the story, which was incorrectly reported in another publication. That publication has since changed the story because they now say, oops, they made a mistake. The Wall Street Journal read another publication. They got the story from the other publication, and they did an editorial about it. And they didn't call me, and all they had to do was call me and say, oh, but you said. I said, no, just go back and see the debate. I wouldn't even have to comment on it. There is no clarification because I was totally accurate at the debate. I think you remember when I said China's going to come in through the back door. Is that right? You know, that means...
I definitely remember you saying that
fact,
China is the bad guy here, here. But we were talking about TPP, so they're suggesting that you didn't realize that China was not even part of the TPP. But the whole criticism here of the TPP is that at some point, if we don't do something with the other Asia-Pacific nations, that China's going to do a deal with those Asia-Pacific nations, and then America is out of it. So that's partly the criticism, that America gets, gets out of this.
Well, no,
and that's why China's not in it, by the way.
Right. But by the way, and that's another reason that China's not in. I mean, you know that, and I know that. But why would they write that I thought that China was in the TPP? Because they don't know what they're talking about. They write so many bad editorials. Whoever the editorial board top person is, and I think I actually know who the top person is, they ought to resign because they're incompetent.
You said you're a free trader 100%.
I am a free trader. But free trade
But you also did say you want to put tariffs. But you want to put tariffs. I mean, you're gonna hold these countries to account if they're gonna manipulate currencies. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm a free trader. I believe in it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. The problem is we have very stupid people making our deals. Okay. We don't have Carl Icahn making our deals. We don't have Henry Kravis and all of our mutual friends. We don't have these people making our deals. We have political hacks making our deals. We have people that have no experience in deal making. We have people that gave contributions to politicians and now they're making our deals. We have people that are incompetent. We make all bad deals. We're going to lose $500 billion in terms of trade imbalance with China this year. We're going to lose $70 billion with Japan and $40 billion with Mexico, and we lose all across the board. Okay, what I'm saying is I love free trade, but it's got to be smart deals. We have to make good deals.